You walk the frost-bitten track that wanes toward a forgotten barrow on the edge of Wessex. Dawn won't warm the heath. Only a bruised sky hangs overhead, swollen with omens. Every footstep crunches like bone. You pull your cloak tighter, the wool can't muffle memory. The memory presses heavier than the slabs waiting inside the mound. Villagers whisper of stone pressing. No gallows, no swift drop, just granite, gravity, and the slow arithmetic of ribs surrendering. A clerk of pain keeps tally. 1 cracked sternum, 2 collapsed lungs, 3 prayers swallowed by mud. Torchlight flickers ahead. In the barrow's atrium, the pillars sweat, as though the earth itself is nervous. Priests arrange the night's theater, flat slabs, ropes coiled like patient adders, and a ledger that pretends hypocrisy isn't smirking over the scribe's shoulder. Somewhere a raven coughs laughter and feathers. They drag in the condemned. A thief, maybe a blasphemer, definitely expendable. He pleads innocence, silly him, still believing truth is the key and not the lock. A priest marks his chest with red ochre runes. Mercy is measured in ounces, the man intones, earning an audience snort. Congratulations, you've just authored history's pettiest footnote on judicial murder. The first slab lands. A gasp ripples through the crowd. Another slab, his breath becomes a wet rattle. A third, and cartilage sings a brittle percussion that turns your stomach. Across the room the scribe records, 2 stone, 6 minutes. Bureaucracy never met a horror it couldn't catalog. A final slab drops. The thief's spine bends with a snap like a bowstring cut mid-draw. Death drapes over him, subtle as dust. The reeve nods, the priest mutters, the crowd exhales. But the top slab cracks, fissures crawl like frost. You step closer and glimpse something darker than stone pulsing beneath, as though guilt has a heartbeat. A draft snuffs torches. Ravens wheel overhead, stitching the sky with black thread. Hook, the crack widens. Under the slab breathes something that remembers every oath ever broken. For an instant, it whispers your name. The oath that cracks. You run. Boots stick in clay suddenly soft as gruel. Behind you, the idol that hatched from the thief's chest clacks across stone, half idol, half spider, sporting too many joints. Welcome to Wessex. Come for pastoral views. Stay because your ankles refuse to cooperate. When the wheelwright trips, you yank him up. You don't stop until the barrow is a speck. Both of you collapse in a hedgerow, panting. Reckon the tree'll sprout idols now. Oswin wheezes sarcasm, a Briton's best bandage. You choose to seek counsel at Eldon monastery monks, brew ale strong enough to erase memories, and maybe possess a charm or two. The more fog thickens. Every milestone resembles a hunched figure, and each blink risks seeing them shuffle closer. Mid-journey you meet a Mercian patrol escorting a shackled woman whose smile knows too much. Thunder crashes with no clouds. An unseen pressure forces everyone to their knees except her. Sarcastic thought. Splendid, even the weather's on the idol's payroll. A soldier's helmet suddenly implodes, no blade, just invisible force. Panic erupts. The woman tears her chains like straw. Metal warps, physics gets sassy. She turns to you. The weight needs heralds. You felt the pull. You belong. Hard pass. She laughs, more unsettling than any scream, and strolls away. You detour into Alderwick Wood seeking safety, only to blunder into Abbot Cedric and 6 chanting monks. A boy lies on a slab, atoning for village sins. You struggle, but monks pin you fast. Stones pile onto the child, bones groan. Cedric murmurs. Pressure makes diamonds. 4th stone lands, ribs crack, and instead of gore, a voice. Cedric hails the herald. You're still pinned. The void still widening, and the creature's hunger churns the night air. Blood in the ledger. Adrenaline snaps your bonds. You yank Oswin free and flee as Alderwick erupts, monks screaming, trees splitting. Behind, a wind cold enough to burn strips leaves from every branch. You push for the Roman road, aiming for Winchester, only to be captured by a Mercian patrol kneeling to the freed woman, Isolde, now emissary of the Waite. Isolde announces you are witnesses destined to carve the record. Soldiers march you north. Along the way you see cultic fallout, cottages flattened inward, livestock crushed flat while trees stand untouched. Someone is rehearsing force with cruel precision. Tamworth's gate is already buckling when you arrive. An enormous figure stalks the market, a hulking golem of masonry and iron with the obsidian idol glowing where a heart should be. The herald roars. People crumple like parchment. Sarcastic aside, so that's the deluxe model, the last one came without limbs. You lure the herald onto an ancient Roman grain vault. Old brickwork groans. Pitch barrels ignite. Floor collapses, burying the creature in its own sermon of stones. Dust settles, and the idol floats unharmed into Isolde's waiting hand. Idol and flesh fuse, black veins lightening through her skin. Isolde's ribs flex outward, the idol's cracked eye heals, and a second pupil rolls open, training its gaze on you. Whispering stones. Tamworth smolders under a sullen dawn. Isolde, though, whatever wears her shape now levitates, cobbles around her like morbid petals. She preaches. Under pressure, all are honest. One stone zips past, embedding in a wall, an inch from your face. Pep talks were better before projectiles. You dash to a half-ruined tower where Mayor Edric and Brother Aldhelm plot evacuation. Aldhelm unrolls a 7th century parchment. To break the stone, return it to the Wiltshire crater where it fell from the sky. There its tether weakens. Then it can shatter. The catch? Only its living bearer Isolde can carry it there. Someone must kidnap the apocalypse. Sarcastic note. Field trip. A decoy explosion lures Isolde. A lead-woven net tagged with negation runes drops. Gravity rebels, but symbolism prevails. Darts loaded with monk brew sedative strike home. Isolde collapses. You lash her to a sled and bolt south. Behind you, Tamworth folds into itself, structures pancaking like closing jaws. Night ride. Gravity misbehaves, stones roll uphill, stars wobble. Danelaw raiders ambush. A sideways surge flings them into trees like iron filings meeting a magnet. By dawn, the Avebury stone rings loom. Isolde, half sedated, walks into the crater unresisting. At Pitt's heart, she lowers the idol, but instead of weakening, it summons its brood. Obsidian shards rise through black sand, locking into a sphere dense enough to bend moonlight. Stones in the henge rip free, bodies included. You cling to a standing stone. Oswin slips, only your grip keeps him from the growing singularity. Isolde splits into echo silhouettes, each birthing another herald. The standing stone cracks, the sphere pulses once more. Either gravity swallows England whole, or you gamble everything on the one counterweight you haven't dared voice aloud. Crushed oaths and cratered skies. The Wiltshire crater groans like it's remembering an old injury. You and Oswin dangle from a splintering megalith. Wind screams in reverse leaves, sucked downward, not up. The idol in the center throbs like a migraine, and all around it, stone shards align like teeth. Then comes the sound. Not a roar, not a wail, something disappointed. The kind of sound a dead god makes when it realizes humanity is still breathing. The heralds chant in layered voices, mouths unhinged wider than bone should allow. Oathbreaker. Lawgiver. Fleshweight. Yeah, nice to meet you too. You let Oswin fall, not to his death, but into a pile of dislodged peat. You follow, both of you sprinting toward the only shelter left. A sunken chapel warped into the crater rim. Inside, candle holders are bent like they prayed too hard and got rejected. Brother Aldhelm's ink-scrawled prophecy lies in the altar, a ledger from a Mercian torturer who used stone pressing not just for punishment, but summoning. Every broken rib was an offering. Every crushed lung a tithe. Turns out Proto-Peenfort wasn't just about silencing criminals. It was about birthing weight. A page reads, "Only a bloodbinder can carry the core. Only their betrayal can crush it." You're guessing that single quotes S. Not you. Oswin coughs. What's a bloodbinder? Before you can answer, the walls of the chapel collapse inward. Isolde floats in, face cracked like old porcelain, smiling like the grave's own landlord. She leans in and whispers, "You already swore the oath. When you lied to your brother, when you buried the truth. And that's when you remember the secret you never thought mattered. The betrayer's weight. Memory slices through you like slate. A dead brother, a false oath, and a signed confession to save your own skin. You didn't just lie, you fed the altar, and now it remembers." Isolde, or what's left of her, hovers above the shattered pews. Her voice rattles your bones. Blood sings truest when crushed. Behind her, the heralds press toward you, stone torsos, arms fused with slabs, mouths forever open in agony. Oswin finds a rusted priest's hammer. Let's hope blasphemy still hits hard. He swings. A herald crumbles, but so does Oswin's wrist, like the backlash snapped space itself. Gothic lesson of the day. Divine physics has no sense of proportion. You run, dragging Oswin through bone-choked trenches. The land warps. Stones levitate, soil pulses. You reach the druidic mound of Silbury Hill, a prehistoric stage that predates even the stone's first fall. And standing there is someone else draped in blue, wearing a Mercian executioner's mask from 2 centuries ago. He removes it. It's your brother, alive, unaged, sarcastic aside. Nothing says family reunion like realizing your sibling's been promoted to spectral warden of a god-powered artifact. He speaks. "They gave me weight. I accepted it. You ran." And then he points at you. "Now it's yours." The earth opens beneath your feet, not falling but sinking, slow as guilt. And the weight you buried years ago is waiting at the bottom. All the bones you fall, not into air, but pressure. The kind that hugs your lungs shut and tells your brain you're not in charge anymore. It's like drowning in gravity. You land in a vault, circular and dripping with time. Bones line the walls, not piled, but pressed, laminated like shameful scripture. In the center is a throne carved from crushed pelvises. Your brother sits on it. He doesn't blink. "I press the first man," he says. A king who broke an oath and claimed no soul would notice. But stones remember. You get it now. Stone pressing wasn't a punishment. It was an agreement. The realm gave weight in exchange for order. No trial. Just stone. Crush the lie, keep the peace. For a while. Your brother steps down. The stone doesn't want obedience. It wants honesty. Total. Final. Physical. He offers you a choice. Carry the idol back to its impact point and let it press you, maybe ending the curse. Or run. Again, you hesitate. Oswin appears behind you, clutching the bloody ledger. "You gonna finish what you started? Or should I lie next?" You take the idol into your arms. Your bones shudder. It speaks inside your mind. The weight does not punish. It clarifies. And you realize your heart is slowing. The crushing truth. You walk uphill, carrying the idol like a newborn god. The world distorts. Hills flatten, rivers reverse. Time skips. You pass the same ash tree 5 times, each version more decayed. Oswin is gone, or maybe behind you. Or maybe ahead, already bones. Voices whisper from nearby stones, not ghost confessions. Things people said while being crushed. "I lied for love. I stole to eat. I let him hang because I was scared." The idol vibrates. You feel your ribcage bowing, cartilage unzipping under pressure. You are turning into a sentence with no appeal. At the summit, your brother kneels beside the altar. "You're almost done." He smiles, not kind, just correct. "All it needs is your truth, so you say it. I let you die." The idol lights up, not with fire, with silence. Stones around you collapse inward, folding reality into the moment. Your lungs crack, your spine whines, but then something shifts. The weight, now inside you, finds something heavier than guilt, mercy. Not forgiveness, just release. The stone splits. Not in two, but into dust. The curse, the legacy, the throne all crumble. Your brother fades with a nod, and Oswin reappears beside you, blinking like he never left. But from the ash rises a new shape, not stone, not flesh. Something in between, and it's still hungry for oaths. The thing that shouldn't speak. The shape rising from the ash doesn't walk. It drags, half human, half something old, stitched together with bloodlines and betrayal. Not a god, not a ghost. It's what happens when history refuses to stay buried. You blink. It has your eyes. Not metaphorically, literally. Left eye, yours. Scar under the right brow, yours too. But the rest of it is ... off. Stretched ribs, joints bent the wrong way, like someone translated your body into stone and misread the grammar. It speaks, your voice, a few tones too deep. You crushed the lie, good, now crush the rest. You recoil, but Oswin steps forward. What is that? Answer, it's you if you hadn't broken. If you had kept lying. It's the version of you that made peace with the weight instead of carrying it. This creature, the echo, offers a bargain. Let it become judge. No more courts, no more kings. Just truth, extracted like teeth. One confession per citizen. Lie, get pressed. Tell the truth, get marked. You refuse. Because no one, no ruler, no echo of guilt should own that much pain. The echo frowns. Then the weight resumes. It raises its hand. Stones from the old realm lift again. You've just traded divine justice for an angry echo with boundary issues. The pressing returns. It starts small. A sheep flattened near Avabury, bones pulped, fleece untouched. Then a reeve found crushed in his own hearth. Word spreads fast. The stone is back. But it isn't in a temple or altar now. It's inside the echo. It doesn't need stone slabs anymore. It is the weight. It passes through villages like a walking curse. The ground flexes under it. People collapse mid-sentence. The guilty, the unsure, the merely unlucky. You and Oswin hunt for something ancient enough to match it, something that predates the stone's first fall. You find it in the Druidic Codex, a rite called the counterbalance. It requires blood of the same line as the echo, yours. It also requires a place where no oath has ever been spoken. Clean earth, silence. Salisbury's fog swamp. Just perfect for a final stand. You lure the echo there. Fog coils around your legs like questioning hands. The sky turns black. The swamp groans. You can't see Oswin, just the echo looming, now 10 feet tall, covered in runes that crawl like worms. You drive the ritual blade into your own hand, carving the counterbalance symbol into the mud with your blood. The echo pauses, confused. You reject judgment? No, you whisper. I reject permanence. The swamp begins to sink. The ritual awakens something deeper than stone, something older than the oath. Section 11. Mud, blood, and collapse. The swamp convulses. Trees twist into nooses. Stones scream. The counterbalance ignites a pale light that pulls the echo downward. You chant the final line. The echo convulses. Its body splits open, not with gore, but histories. Every confession it absorbed bursts out like steam. A father who let a child starve. A priest who broke every vow. A king who watched villages burn for gold. Each one slams into you. Your mind fractures. You see it now. The stone wasn't just a curse, it was storage. A pressure vault for all the shame this land couldn't carry. You scream the closing words. The swamp rises. The light consumes the echo, burning away your face, your blood, your shadow. What's left collapses into the mud. For a moment, silence. Then crack. One last stone breaks apart. A single pebble rolls to your feet. It's smooth, harmless, weightless. But Oswin picks it up, and his eyes go dark. History doesn't erase. It passes on. What stays buried. Years later, a new law rises across Wessex. All trials must be spoken in stone circles. Every verdict ends with a rock placed on the accused's chest. Just symbolic, they say. Just tradition. You, now limping and hollow-eyed, wander village to village, warning anyone who'll listen. The stone watches through us now. Most think you're mad. One boy listens too closely. He starts collecting rocks. The echo never fully died. It lingers in folklore, in the crack in the church floor that never seals, in the uncanny hush before storms. It left no altar, no throne. Just habits. People forget how it started. They just remember how good it felt when the guilty were crushed. You write the last page of the ledger. You don't sign it. That's how they find it centuries later, unsigned, soaked in dried blood, with only one sentence beneath the closing ritual. The weight never leaves. It only waits. Centuries later, under a rebuilt cathedral in Winchester, a mason uncovers a slab etched with a face that looks just like yours, the eyes open. And that was how Wessex broke its own bones to keep order. Stone pressing didn't vanish. It evolved into laws, into rituals, into the idea that some truths are only born when something snaps. This wasn't just torture. It was a legacy. Pressed flat, buried deep, still breathing. If that disturbed you, good. History isn't here to comfort. It's here to warn. You've been watching Blood and Empire, where the past never stays dead, and justice comes with a body count. Don't forget to subscribe, because next time, we're digging up something worse. And trust me, it wants out.